Hello, so today I'm going to be painting my Necrotect from the Tomb Kings army, made by Games Workshop. It's a long discontinued model, but I wanted to get some paint on it. I'm working on my Tomb Kings lately, so figured now's a better time than any. I've already started kind of blocking in some gold on it here. I'm going to continue to do that with Retributor armor from Citadel. This guy here, and I'll show you guys when it's done. Alright, so now that that's finished, I've put 2 coats of gold on everything I want to be gold. So I've got his greaves here, parts of his headdress, some trim all around it, some stuff on like his wrists, and, on his neck and stuff like that. So now I'm going to move on to painting some cloth. Well, not really the cloth, it's the mummy wraps that are kind of all over his legs and on his arms and some other different spots all over the model. You can see some on the back here. And for that, I'm going to be using Dryad bark. Nice dark brown. It's kind of what I've done for the rest of the army, so in keeping with that scheme. Yeah, I'm going to paint all those things, and we'll come back when that's all done as well. Alright, so there's the mummy wraps base coated. Yeah, there's a big section of them in the back here, bunch of them over here, all over the place, really. Don't worry too much about being neat at this point. I mean, I'm careful around the gold, but kind of slapped it on all over the place, the same sort of application that you do with the gold, just to kind of get it all over. So the next thing, I guess I'm going to move on to, are painting his skirts, I guess. So there's some skirts down here, kind of this sort of area. They kind of sneaky go down the side here, sort of down beside his cartouche. And I'm probably going to paint his hat the same sort of color. For this, I use Ulthuan Gray, kind of a similar way I've done the sort of accent colors on the rest of my army. So I've decided to go with this. I'm just going to do 2 coats of that. I typically don't use the base coat underneath it because I find this one covers pretty well. So let me get those skirts all done up and any other details that need it, and I'll come back and show you when it's done. And with the white now applied to the cloth sort of areas there and on his hat, the next thing to do is all the bronze sort of components. So kind of be the end of his sort of his blade here, some of this hammer he's got on the side, probably the tip of his hat. Might just pick out some other details on there to break up some of the gold. To do that, I'm going to use the Balthazar gold. Yeah, nice sort of bronzy color. And then pick out the cartouche and that sort of thing. And then when I've done that, we'll come back and I'll show you where we're at. And with the bronze all picked out, the blade, like I said, the cartouche, hammer, kind of the handle, some other little tip of his hat. Now that that's all base coated and done, gonna move on to painting his flesh, I think. It's kind of the next biggest part of the model to need to be done. And for that, I start with Dawnstone. They're supposed to be, mummified guys, so I don't really paint them with like bone colors. I paint them with kind of a gray necrotic skin tone, so that's what I'm going to be going for here. So you're going to be wanting to look out for kind of obviously the face, the feet, his hands. There's little bits of leg exposed in between in his wrappings there, kind of his back, his inside of his torso all needs to be done here, and his arms and everything. So yeah, I'm going to get to work on that. Now is when you want to start being really neat with your colors, kind of where it meets, especially in places like this, the tiny little spots. You can always touch up the area around it because we haven't done any washes or anything yet. So it's pretty easy to fix up if you happen to, make a mess on something. But yeah, I'll get all those colors done up, and then we'll see how it goes. All right, and with that all blocked in, you see I've got his feet, his face, his arms are all done, hands, the back of him there is all painted up too. Got into all these little nooks and crannies all throughout the model. you know, you got to really watch out for wherever there would be skin. I know box art's really hard to find for these guys, but there's lots of pictures on Google, and I'm using the 8th edition army book kind of as reference to figure out where these places are. But once you've got all that base coated, there's only a few more base coats left to do, so I'll just run through kind of all those now, and then update when it's all done. So next we're going to be doing using a Batten Black, just a solid black color, and that's going to be used probably for the haft of the hammer. I do the entire whip with the black. Might do some details on the hat, maybe the flaps on either side, paint the death mask. That'll be done in a Batten Black. And yeah, that's probably it for the Batten Black. Next I'll be using Steel Legion Drab, and that's only really for one color, which will be this. There's a little pouch on his waist there. It's kind of hard to see, but in there there's a little pouch. So that's going to be done with Steel Legion Drab. And then lastly, Techless Blue and Evil Sun's Scarlet. They are used, I use the red and blue kind of for all the decorative pieces. So on his collar, I'll alternate the red and the blue. On his bracelets, they'll be red and blue. There's all these little segments on his legs. They'll be all done that way. Maybe a little bit on the gold here, not sure. A little bit more on the whip. And anywhere else I kind of feel like needs a bit of red and blue kind of as a spot color. Yeah, so I'll get all those on there, and then after that we'll be ready for washes. Talk to you in a bit. All right, and with that done, that's the entire model base coated. So the whip, the sort of collar, everything else, all the golds, all the blues, all the bronze, and the death mask is all painted there. Hammer is all painted up. So that's everything base coated. Now it looks pretty awful currently with all these colors put on it. But now we're gonna hit it with a wash. I like to use, I just do an all over wash with Agarth's Earthshade with all these colors. I don't really bother with all the other kind of things. I only really highlight a few little pieces I'll pick out afterwards. So I'll come back once I've hit the whole thing with a wash, and we'll talk about the next step. Okay, and with that shade applied, just a bit of Agarth's Earthshade. You can see the colors are kind of muted down a little bit, but also it's added a lot of depth to the recesses of the different parts of the model. So like now you can kind of more clearly see the scorpion on his hat. There's a bit of a scorpion detail on his sword here as well. Everything else is shaded. I applied this to everything. So the skin, the cloth, I just did a bit of a recess shade. I don't completely cover the white because it's hard to layer up. It's just not really worth it. It's added a lot of like depth to the individual little parts between his belt and up on his hand here. So yeah, with that all kind of done, the next step for me is I usually just try and brighten up kind of the main details on him. So the blue and the red details, I'm going to layer over those. Same with the Evil Sun Scarlet and the Techless Blue from the last step. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, I'll come back when I show you. I'm gonna do something with the mask, but we'll figure that out after. So first I'm just gonna do the blue and the red, and then we'll see how it looks when I'm done. All right, and with all those base layers kind of reapplied, you can see the blue and the red are looking brighter again. I just be careful to make sure you leave a space in the recess from where you shaded, kind of down in here and in between all the little links in there. Just to leave that definition, I guess, because it can look a little flat if you just repaint the whole thing. There's no point doing it at the start, so it's good to just leave a little bit of a gap in between your colors there. So with all that reapplied and all that looking pretty bright again, next I'm going to move on to painting the death mask. I may probably just highlight around the face and the nose and the brown, like the chin. But for that, I'm not going to stick with the black. I'm going to be using Kabbalah Green. This color, gives a bit of a jade effect, and it's a bit of a, kind of a different look to it. Make it look like kind of a jadey sort of stone. But I'll just be doing a couple of highlights for that one. So yeah, I'll come back when I've painted that little mask up, and we can start talking about the other details. Okay, I've highlighted the death mask with the Kabbalah green. It's a little more stark than I wanted, so I'm going to try and hit it with a coat of this Colia green shade to try and knock it down a little bit, and hopefully that'll turn out pretty well. So I'm going to do that, and then additionally I'm going to highlight the mummy wraps with Gorthor brown. So this is all the stuff that we put the dryad bark on earlier, so everything all around here and up on his arm. And then highlight all this down here. To do that, I'm probably just going to put a layer on top of it and leave the dryad bark kind of down the sides and in the deeper recesses. So I'll hit the mask with a coat of shade and I'll paint up those mummy wraps, and then I'll check in when I'm done. And with that done, it's looking pretty good. The death mask kind of got muted down a little bit, which is looks a lot better with that coat of Colia green shade. And I've gone around and picked out all of the different mummy wraps all over him. So all over his arms there. There's a big section on his back. That's all been done. The key with that last step is to kind of just leave the dryad bark in like the deeper recesses and then hit the Gorthor brown on the raised areas. So in the side here, that's still dryad bark, but on top it's Gorthor brown. And it kind of just, adds another layer of detail to it. Now there's only a couple more things left to do before we call this guy done. Oh, I also hit the grip here on his whip. So only a couple more things left to do here. The next one we're going to touch on is his skin. So I want to layer that back up to make it a little brighter. And to do that, I'm just going to reapply Dawnstone. The same color we use for the base on the skin is what I'm going to do to layer it back up again. So it's really important now to make sure that you leave these recesses darker and only picked out sort of the raised areas. So you can see how it's lighter gray kind of on his toes. That's where you want to apply the layer to again. And on his face, his cheekbones, and on his nose, and kind of around his mouth and his chin. We're going to be adding like a glow coming out of his eyes in the next step after that. So, just kind of hit it, and then where that glow sits, it'll look nice. Once again, going to be hitting on all of his elbows and his hands, picking out all of his fingers, all those kind of raised details that you can see on the skin there. So I'm going to do that up, and then we'll come back and finish the face. And with the Dawnstone reapplied, you can see it's really brightened up a lot of his features there on his face. His toes and fingertips are all picked out nicely. A lot of work done on his torso there to kind of grab all the raised details, and they're looking pretty good now. So now kind of the second to last, I guess. The next thing we have to do is the glow I'm going to do coming out of his eyes. And for that, I'm just going to use really watered down moot green. So I thin it down pretty decently, almost down to a wash consistency, and then apply it to his eyes and his mouth. So it's kind of like it's, some sort of power is emanating out of his face. So I'll do that detail up quick. The key with that one is to make sure it's nice and thin so it runs into the recesses and kind of get it a little bit around the eye sockets in the mouth. But without kind of making a whole mess of it. If you do, you can just reapply the layers and redo it all. But I'm going to try and avoid doing that. So there's that to do, and then I'll just do the basing, and then he'll be done. There it is. So there's the moot green kind of applied to the mouth and eyes sort of area around the face to make him look like he's been animated or got some sort of power coming out of him. I don't know. I just think it looks kind of cool. And then finally, all that's left to do is the basing. So I use Armageddon Dunes on my Tomb Kings, just to kind of create a deserty sort of wasteland sort of look. And then I'll add a couple of the I think they're Midden Mordland tufts or Middenheim turf or something like that, some tuft. I'll have it all listed for you kind of in the description and at the start of the video. But so I put that on, and then I paint up some skulls from the skull basing kit. Here's kind of a big base covered in skulls that I'm going to paint up for the job, and just put one of those on the base and kind of get that done. So I'll get that started, and we'll come back when that's all done, and we'll show you the finished model. And that's it. With the rim of the base done, all the basing textures on there. I dry brushed it with some Tyrant Skull from Games Workshop as well, and then just put a couple of tufts on and a skull, and that's it. So that's a Necrotect completely finished. A beauty model to paint if you're lucky enough to have one, and I think you did a pretty good job, ready to join all the rest of my Tomb Kings. Yeah, So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.